All right, all right, all right. I'm live. Finally, after the computer was doing updates. That always happens when you go live, people. You know, you try to go live, and what happens? You have all kinds of problems. Your computer decides to do its updates. I had this computer on since about roughly 4 o'clock this afternoon, and I have to apologize for not being on here this past Wednesday. I had issues with my pick 'em up truck, and which I have resolved. Um, and I'll wait a minute for Google and YouTube to get their SHTF together because apparently they ain't got their shit together. Okay, got it now. Finally got uh, some bars when I'm hooked directly to the Ethernet, people. So I don't know what's going on here. Give me a second. Put a little message in my. And I don't know why my screen just went dark. That I have no idea, but it's back on. I see. Okay, I guess I could take my cheaters off. I've been on for over a minute now, according to the YouTube time clock or StreamYard time clock. All right. First of all, like I say, I have to apologize for not being on here this past Wednesday last week. I had issues with my pickup truck. I mean, I don't know if you people realize it, but it's in the mid 80s already here in the state of Florida, and it's been very hot out. Well, I was out doing a little bit of grocery shopping, and it ended up that I had no air conditioning, and I'm going, oh, maybe I'm losing Freon again because I had a problem with the service the terminal to add the Freon to it, which was leaking Freon once before, and I put a new one in there, which corrected that problem. So I had thought at the time. Um, anyway, it was not leaking, uh, and I tried to put more Freon in it, and it wouldn't take any more Freon. I'm going, this is strange. Needle isn't even moving on the Freon on the gauge. So I says, well, you might as well crawl underneath that pickup truck and see if a bolt that goes into the clutch assembly and the pulley for the belt was still there because I broke one off at one time. Well, I crawled up underneath there and I'm looking around underneath the truck and I'm looking and I'm going, ooh, that don't look good. That belt is twisted. I go to grab the belt and the whole thing come off of it. It's about, you know, 2 feet long, whatever. I was like, oh crap. So I ran to the auto parts store and I got another belt. And it ended up that was not an easy 2 minute task like some people would think. On my 2500 Silverado, you have to pull the upper radiator shroud off. You have to maneuver things around to get that belt on. I had to take the old the serpentine belt that was on it, which was fine. I had to take that off. So I took that off, and then I proceeded to put the air conditioning belt on, which was no fun. It took me about a half hour to get that on because that's got a separate tensioner than the other tensioner that goes on the serpentine belt. So I did, and I don't know what's going on, why I have a bad signal here. I'm connected directly to the Ethernet. But anyway, I finally had gotten that new air conditioning belt put on and put the serpentine belt on. And put the shroud back on or over the radiator where it belonged, hooked everything up, went in the pickup truck and started it up. And I, once again, had cold AC for the pickup. However, by the time I got that done, it was way, way, way past the time that I would normally start my live stream here on YouTube. So I figured, well, I'll take the evening off. I'll just do it next week, which is today, which I am doing. Let's see here. Um, I'm getting different updates right now. Like I say, my computer here today before I went live was updating, and now I'm getting all kinds of updates from Google Chrome. Wonderful, Putin and China just scored a knockout blow to the U.S. economy, and we're getting screwed over by them. I'll close that one out. Jimmy Kimmel connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Well, we probably figured that one out anyway. Those guys, all these rich and famous people, they're all connected to Epstein one way or another. We have a few decades left. That's by the Angry Prepper. I already seen that one. Anyway, hopefully Google will get their crap together and give me full bars, or YouTube, one of them will give me full bars here as far as my internet connection, because I'm direct to the Ethernet right to my modem from my laptop to my modem. It doesn't take that much. Go figure, people. Go figure. That's Joe Biden's high speed. Everybody will get high speed internet. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's why it shows one dot as far as my connection for my internet. Okay, well, I don't know what's going on with my connection. Like I say, my Ethernet's connected properly here. I rebooted my modem a little while ago to make sure everything was working properly. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's on Google's end screwing up, or if it's YouTube screwing up as normal. A lot of people are getting screwed over. Now, the title of this live stream is Has America Fallen? Why do I say Has America Fallen? Just to give you a little idea, this country, in no way, shape, or form, is the country that it used to be. And part of it is Bozo Biden's fault and his administration. But my point in being is that this country has changed a lot since, say, September 11th, 2001. Why I say that? When I grew up in this country, this used to be a very strong and powerful country. Back when I was a child, we were at a point in life where we were worried about, once again, Russia invading the United States with nuclear missiles. And then what happened? Well, that kind of died down. Things got smoothed out, so to speak. And then back when John F. Kennedy was our president, we had the Cuba Missile Crisis. Now, we didn't back down from any of them. We did negotiations. But we were almost at war with Cuba back in the 60s. Now, This country stayed a strong country for all those years. I am a Vietnam veteran. When I went to Vietnam, we were still a strong country and we were not going to take any crap from nobody. So look what's happened since Vietnam being a strong country. Well, let's see here. We've had presidents that have gotten us into wars in other countries. And I miss, say, the Korean War and things like that because they really weren't considered wars. But yet we look at America today and how things have changed drastically. And I do mean drastically. This used to be a strong country, and any person of the age of 18 or older would support this nation, would join the military because they wanted to protect this country. Now, they stopped the draft after Vietnam. Why they did that, I have no idea. Maybe they figured that we were under such a peace accord that we were not going to have any problems, right? Well, that was fine and dandy. But what has happened over the past, let's say, 30 years? Okay. Now you have to remember, people, this country, the United States of America, was the most powerful country in the world. We didn't have to worry about Russia. We didn't have to worry about China. We didn't have to worry about North Korea or any of these other countries for that matter. As I watch my internet go down to one dot again. Boy, I don't know. YouTube and Google really messing me up. But my point being here, people were strong in this country. We didn't have this political correctness. We didn't have this pronouns generation. We didn't have the LGBTQRSTUVWXYZ, whatever the heck you want to call them. We didn't have any of these people pushing for what they wanted or worried about having their feelings hurt. Okay? We took it and we either got stronger or most of you went in your closets and hid because there was people that were strong that would knock the crap out of you. We didn't put up with weak people. And over the years, our government included has gone soft. I don't know why our government has gone soft. Excuse me. I don't know if this video is going to come out okay or not because, like I say, it's showing me one dot as far as my internet hookup. So if this live stream isn't working out, trust me, I will do another live stream probably tomorrow evening. But my point being here, our government has bowed down to this LGBTQ and all this other crap. And I want to state here, before I get any further into this video, this is my opinion. Anything that I state in this live stream is how I feel and my opinion on these matters. Why I say that? I'm not trying to give anyone any misinformation of any way, shape, or form. These are my opinions. This is how I feel about things. And if you want, I would ask that you do your own research on everything I talk about here today. We have many things that are going on all around this country that people are very dissatisfied with, including our government. Our government has gone soft. Yeah, we voted this last election here for the House and the Senate, and it seems like we're still right back to square one. No party is dominant over the other. You have the Republicans that are leading the House, and you have the Democrats that are leading the Senate. So we're at a stalemate once again. So this is why I say, has America fallen? And I say that because something just isn't right. Never in the history of this country has it been so equally divided. Now, a lot of people are complaining and saying, oh, I voted Republican, or oh, I voted Democrat, but I never expected this. You people need to do your research, because now it's to the point where we, the people of the United States of America, we don't have a say in anything anymore. Our government is being controlled like a bunch of puppets on strings by these millionaires, billionaires, these elites, like Klaus Schwab with the World Economic Forum. I think it's time that we, the people, wake up. Our land, the United States of America, is being taken over by illegal immigrants just walking over our borders. And our government's just giving them free phones, letting them live in these high class hotels, motels, all this stuff, giving them free food to eat. They state they came here because they wanted to work and wanted a better life. But that's not happening. Instead, they're becoming a bunch of drunks, raping and molesting young women in these hotels where they're all staying at. Our crime rates are triple what they were just a few short years ago. Prices are so high that there is no American dream anymore. A regular American average family, where husband and wife with children that's working, cannot afford to purchase a home anymore. Hell, you can't even afford to buy a new vehicle anymore, because the price that you would pay for a home is what the price of a brand new vehicle costs today. This is not good, people. This is why I was talking about a little bit of what has happened over the years since the 60s, right up until now. Now, you have to remember, this country was still fairly young. Now, it's roughly over 200 years old. We went from having our own currency, which used to be a gold backed currency, and everything started to change around 1945. 20 years before I was even born. This helps. Hey, okay, back. Sorry, my modem decided to do a reboot on its own. Isn't it great that even our internet services today are being disrupted? To get back to what I was talking about, back when John F. Kennedy was our president, he was about to warn we, the American people, of something that our government had planned that he wanted to get out in the open. And guess what? He was assassinated. He never got to voice his opinion to the American people about what was about to happen. Well, I'll tell you what happened. That was when the World Economic Forum first started. Yes, we're going back to the 1960s. That's when that started. And over time, what has happened? Well, we have our politicians, not only the Democratic side, but also the Republican side. They were getting paid under the table by these big corporations to push their agenda through Congress so they could get all these big loans from our government so they could be more powerful and stronger. Well, then you had Richard Nixon. He was the man that basically destroyed our United States currency. He took the American dollar off the gold standard. That was supposed to be a good thing. But that also gave our government the opportunity to print all the money that they wanted. Yep. So that dropped our values down with our money. Well, let's go a little bit further into this. Let's move it up to the Clinton days when Bill Clinton was a president of the United States of America. He was a good president as far as getting jobs and building this country up. However, him, as well as other government officials, had warned us back then that we must prevent, yes, prevent these companies from monopolizing. Well, what has happened? Now you have all these big major companies that are and have monopolized. You have to remember, people, when I was young and I had a bank account, we had a booklet similar to a tablet and almost about the same size. That was our bank book, so to speak. We'd go into a bank with that, and we'd either deposit or withdraw money out of our accounts. And then in 1989 is when Visa card first started. Then MasterCard, American Express, and Discover Card all came into effect right around 1989. Now, to let you all know, that changed everything with our currency. That's how we started building our credit scores in this country, was with these different credit card companies. Because when they first started, all you had was Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover. Oh, and a Diners Club card as well. But those were the only kind of credit cards. Then banks finally released their debit cards, and now they're all backed by Visa or MasterCard today. Still, we were a strong country. We didn't have any of these problems with anyone in this country. If there was any kind of a war, your citizens that were 18 years of age and older all wanted to join the service to protect and defend the United States of America. Now, why I ask, has America fallen? Is because things have changed drastically from that time when we started with our own credit card companies in the United States of America. And then what happened? Well, for one, we didn't have these cell phones back then. Cell phones didn't come out until after computers first came out in 1995. Okay? And I still say to this day, the internet is what's ruined the United States of America and the rest of this world that we live in. Does not matter what country you live in. The internet has ruined all these countries. What do you do when you go to have dinner with your family sitting at your dinner table? Is everybody conversing? Do you make everybody take their cell phones and put them in a basket on the side so no one's there doing this crap while they're sitting at the dinner table? Or is everybody just there at the dinner table or in their living room watching TV and then going ahead and going right back to their cell phones? This is ignorant, people. Try going 1 week without your cell phone. I'll put it better yet. Shut off all your social media on your cell phone. Try that for a week. No TikTok, no Twitter, no Instagram, no whatever. Okay? Just don't do it for a week. Just accept phone calls and phone calls only. No texting, no messaging. Excuse me. Just your phone. Just receive people that call you and talk to them that way alone. You know, we kind of spoiled ourselves with today's technology. We're ruining our children on how they outlook on everything in life today. When I was young, outside was what we did for our time after school. We'd find things to do. We'd get on our bicycles, we'd ride to a local store or gas station, hang out with the attendant at the gas station, have a bottle of Coca-Cola, shoot the crap, talk face to face with people. Oh my God. Do you do that today? I have a few friends that ask me to meet them at taverns and stuff when we're out on our motorcycles. And I'll go to a tavern and I'll meet up with them. And what do they do when I see them at the tavern? Hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Things going okay? This is ridiculous. And like I told them, hey, you bugged me to come see you. I'm here. Let's talk. Why are you on your phone texting? I didn't come here to have a beer and watch you text. I came here so we could make arrangements to maybe go riding on our motorcycles, go someplace, do something. Oh, there's an event coming up. Oh, that's like right now. There's Daytona Bike Week going on right now. Am I there? No, I'm not there. Why am I not there? Well, hey, take some money, which I don't have. But you got to think about things. Has America fallen? Our money is not worth crap anymore. It's a fiat dollar. It used to be a petrodollar. It used to be strong under President Donald Trump. What happened when Bozo Biden got in office? The first day he was in office, he stopped the XL pipeline. They still have not lifted the Emergency Act because of this crap. And now they're finding out, oh, well, you know what? That face diaper you were wearing for 2 years, it didn't do you any good whether you wore it or not. The only thing that really helped you was an N95 mask. These are the only things that filter out viruses. These are the only things that would protect people, like what happened in East Palestine, Ohio, with the train derailment and the releasing of all those chemicals that were burned in the atmosphere. A lot of wildlife is going to die off. A lot of pets are going to die off. A lot of people are going to die off. Your soil's been contaminated. The rivers and streams all the way from the Ohio River all the way to the Mississippi River, going all the way into here in the Gulf of Mexico. It's contaminating the water across the country. Now, are they doing tests? Oh, yeah, they're testing for this. But they're testing for the wrong thing. Why I say they're testing for the wrong thing? Because once those chemicals were released and burned, it changes the chemical form of what they were. Now, are they testing for the chemical change? Formaldehyde is one of them. Are they testing for formaldehyde? No. I could look at my notes here and tell you what they are testing for, if I can find them. Okay. And like I say, this is killing off all kinds of animals. And this is going to be over 1,000 miles. I'll say a good third of the United States, better than a third, because you have 5 toxic chemicals. You have vinyl chloride, butyl acrylate, ethyl acrylate, ethylene glycol, I can't even pronounce it, violate, and it turns into hydrogen chloride once it has been burned. People, these chemicals, by them being burned and changes its competition and what's released into our atmosphere, into our streams, onto our lands, they're not testing for what the chemicals change to after they've been burned and released into the air. That changes the whole chemical reaction of these chemicals. These chemicals are similar to Agent Orange, what they used in Vietnam. It causes cancer. It can kill you. These gases were used back in World War I to choke and kill soldiers during the war. I don't know if you people realize that right now there are a lot of things happening here in the United States. And since that time that train derailment happened in East Palestine, Ohio, there have been 10 other train derailments with toxic chemicals. The point being, they did not drill holes in these tankers and light them on fire. I think they learned their lesson, but maybe not. Our government's trying to destroy the American ways of life. We see that right straight up today. They're printing more money. More companies are shutting down because they can't afford the price of the products that they're making other products with. This country is being destroyed from within. Our politicians are destroying this country, as well as foreigners. Still, thousands upon thousands upon thousands a day pouring in to the United States of America. How can you people continue to let this happen? What has happened to you, the American people? Why do I say that? I say that because nobody is complaining. You're just going to let our government and these railroad companies and all this other stuff release these chemicals so they destroy our land, destroy our crops, destroy our wildlife. It reminds me of a Emerson, Lake and Palmer song of "There's a blade of grass. Be careful that you pass. Move along, move along. Come inside. The show's about to start." Listen to that song. That may wake you up. Because if we continue down this path we're going down right now, that is how things are going to end up here in the United States of America. There will be no more trees that are alive. There will be no more plants that will grow that we can eat food off of. Your vegetables will be contaminated. And then what happens? Well, then you eat that contaminated vegetable, and guess what? You get cancer or some other illness, and you die. These chemicals are known to cause lung problems, lung cancer, liver cancer, kidney cancer. It's as bad as that bang in the arm that you got, which they're now finding out is causing irregular menstrual cycles. Women having miscarriages. Men going sterile because of that bang in the arm. You have athletes in their teens and 20s that are dropping like flies. Like I suggested once before, watch that documentary on Rumble called Suddenly Died, and in quotations is November 2022. Watch that documentary. That is about people who got that bang in the arm. Now, I don't know about you, but you have millions of people that are losing their jobs. And then you have Bozo Biden. Oh, yeah, 512,000 new jobs just created. For who? That's what I want to know. Oh, okay. 87,000 new IRS agents. Well, if they hired all these IRS agents, why are they saying that you're going to have a delay in getting your tax returns? Oh, I know. They're coming up with the excuse, oh, well, since we did this child tax credit for citizens in the United States, they have to figure out whether it's going to be taxable or not. My point to you politicians, shouldn't you have figured that out before you gave these tax credits to the people of the United States of America? What have you done for the senior citizens in the United States of America? Excuse me. Nothing. Oh, some of you are going to say, oh, well, you guys got the highest rate increase in years. Well, yeah, because our economy went to shit and everything went double, triple, quadruple in price. We still didn't get that $200 extra a month, which now should be $400 extra a month. Why do I say that? Can you afford groceries? I live on roughly $200 a month in groceries, in food for myself. And a lot of yous I know are saying, holy crap, well, that's what I spend almost every week. Yeah, well, goes to show you how much us senior citizens are suffering. We can't afford $150, $200 every week in food. We have to learn to scrimp and save and try and get by with what little we have. A lot of us senior citizens never figured that we'd have to bust our butt our whole lives only to get Social Security and live in poverty. The pensions that we were promised, oh, they're no longer there. Our government stole our pensions. Just like our government is stealing your 401ks right now, just like your government is buying out these pensions, including for the firefighters. And look what they've done to the railway workers. Okay? These railroad workers aren't getting paid sick time. Oh, okay, they got a little bit of a pay increase. But how could you work 60 hours a week, and then go home. And then an hour after you get home, you get a phone call from the railroad saying, "Oh, you got to come back to work. Joe Schmo didn't make it in today. We need you to cover his shift." What's another thing they're doing? Oh, they're cutting down on how many people are on a train now. They think 2 people is too many. And of course, they're trying to push for AI, artificial intelligence. Can you imagine artificial intelligence running the trains? Can you imagine artificial intelligence running the tractor trailers that go down the roadways, the airplanes that you fly in around the country or around the world? AI isn't it, people. It's just another distraction. The same with their Green New Deal that died in Germany a few years ago. Now, Germany and other countries that thought that they were going to try the Green New Deal, their Green New Deals have failed. Wind and solar does not create enough energy to power the whole United States of America. Excuse me while I have a train go by. And yes, this is almost every hour in the hour that this train goes by. As I was talking about these chemicals being released, the day before yesterday, a train had gone by and it had some tankers on it. And there was a white tanker that was hooked up that was going by, and the train wasn't really going that fast. It was maybe going, I don't know, 30 miles an hour. But what did I hear coming out of that white tanker? As it was going down, going by me. I'm like, oh, great. We got a tanker that just went past me about 30 miles an hour, leaking some kind of chemical into the air. Are they trying to poison us, people? Is this part of their depopulation with the WEF? A way to reduce the population around the country? Excuse me. Releasing these chemicals into the air so they slowly poison us, give us cancers, and then we die from these chemicals? They're doing a good job of poisoning our water systems. They're doing a good job poisoning and contaminating the earth that we live on. And you can't get away. You could try, but where are you going to go? Prices are so high you can't afford a home anymore. You're lucky if you get enough money from where you work at to pay for your rent, pay for your gas for your vehicle. You're lucky if you have enough money to pay for your electricity, your gas bill, your cable bill, your you name it, phone bill, and so on, including insurances. So has America fallen? It's pretty damn close in my book. My opinion, yes. There's only one way out of this, people. It's for you all to wake up. It's for you all to stop contacting, and I mean start contacting your politicians. You need to start complaining. You need to start protesting like we did years ago. As the old saying goes, a squeaky wheel gets the grease. if you're not going to be a squeaky wheel and just continue to let this stuff happen, you're going to lose control. You will no longer have freedom. I shouldn't laugh, but it's not really funny because we really don't have freedom anymore as it is. You have to look at another country. Look at Venezuela. They were the third strongest country in the world. And then their government got greedy. Their government turned into a dictatorship, similar to what's happening here in the United States of America right now. Their government made them give up their firearms. And what happened after that? Once the people of Venezuela gave up their firearms, because the government said that they would take care of them, all comes back to that one phrase that Ronald Reagan said not that long ago. When the government says, we're here to help, run. Because they're not there to help. They're there to take things away from you. Your freedom, your liberty. The way you live. That's why they're pushing these 15-minute cities. It's almost like the song Hotel California. You're welcome, but you can never leave. You're welcome to be there, but you can never leave. That's how these 15-minute cities are going to be. You can live in them, but they don't want you to leave. What else do we have going on? Oh, cryptocurrency. What's cryptocurrency going to do for you? Is it going to make life easier for you? If you like to be controlled and considered to be a slave, that's what's happening right now here in the United States of America. This is why I say, has America fallen? Because we're becoming slaves to our government. We have no control over the wages we get paid. We've lost the value of the American dollar. It's only worth 19 cents, actually, in today's economy. So you're working for less. Oh, let's see here. You have all these companies that have monopolized, all these other companies that are going out of business. Now, the companies that are monopolizing, buying out all these businesses, of course, what are they doing? Well, they're raising the prices of their products. Now, products become harder to obtain. So what does that do? Oh, that raises the prices even more. Oh, so you continue working for less. You continue to lose more money. Your value of your American dollar has dwindled. Now they want to push a cryptocurrency on you. Well, this is another reason why they're starting this war in Ukraine. Where's those billions upon billions, $120 billion the United States has given Ukraine? The United States has given them this money, so what? Oh, to support their pensions of those people, to let them people pay their bills. to boost their economy. What has not happened here in the United States of America? Let's see here. Well, if you had a family, you got your child credit from your government, which gave you thousands upon thousands of dollars. For people on Social Security or didn't get unemployment, all we got was $3,000. But yet the United States of America is sending billions upon billions of dollars. Like I stated, $120 billion to Ukraine. But they're not taking care of we the people here in the United States of America. There's something wrong with this picture. Because last I knew, they all took an oath to protect and defend we, the American people. Well, they're not protecting and defending us. They're taking away from us and giving our money that we pay in taxes to other countries. Our pensions, they're gone because our government is using our pensions. Our 401ks are dwindling because our government's stealing our 401ks. Same as they stole over $2.6 trillion from our Social Security. And then that was the first time. That doesn't count the number of other times that they have stolen money from our Social Security for their little projects in the government. Is it time to overthrow this government yet? You see, this is why I ask, has America fallen? It's no longer about we the people. Our politicians are puppets on strings being run by these billionaires, millionaires, these elites, the World Economic Forum, all these other people who have ill will for we the people of the United States. We are all peasants to these people. We're the ones that built this country, and now our government and these elites are trying to steal it away from us. They're taking our land here in the United States of America and they're selling it to Russians, China, people like Bill Gates buying 240,000 acres of farmland. So he can do what? Raise bugs on that farmland? Or maybe these chemical contaminations are going to prevent him from doing that because it's killing everything in its area, including people, pets, wildlife, birds, fish, contaminating the soil so you don't have food to eat, vegetables to eat. You know, this is one big circle. And you know what? There's a big party going on, but we're not invited. Our government is screwing us all over. People, you need to rise up. This is the time that the United States of America needs to rise up. We need to be protesting at these politicians' homes, at these politicians' offices. We need million-man marches, millions of men marches in Washington, D.C. against all of these politicians. Because it no longer makes any difference whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans. They're all getting paid under the table, people. They could care less about you and me. It's time that we rise up once again. By these socialists and communists that tore down these statues of the Revolutionary Wars and the Civil Wars and said that it was, this guy, he had something to do with slave trading and this and that and all this other crap. Those statues were history. Those statues were a reminder of what happens when a tyrannical government tries to take over we the people to make it a dictatorship. And unfortunately, now that you people have tore down these statues and never read or were taught the history of the United States of America, I suggest you get or do searches here on the internet. I suggest that you read the history of this country. We used to be a free people. There used to be an American dream. There used to be a time when you could buy your own property. You could afford to buy your own property. You didn't have restrictions. The prices weren't through the roof. And this is only going to get worse, people. We had a little decline in the silver prices and the gold prices here in the last couple of days. I would suggest you buy gold and silver. If you want to go ahead and play the stock market, well, I'll tell you what, you better get involved in technology or stocks that have dividends that are staying normal pricing. If you're going to invest in oil, well, God bless you. But I'm going to tell you what, these prices are at all-time highs now because they're trying to ruin the American people. I've said this on other videos and I'm saying it again now. They only want the rich, and then they want the rest of us as peasants living in poverty. They're pushing it more and more every day. We can see it happening. If they're not trying to poison us, they're trying to outprice us. Now, they say, we're not going to print any money, we're going to raise interest rates. That's not going to help. That's going to hurt more because everything else is going to go higher in price. I've told you people for the last couple of years on Nomad Prepper, which was my old channel, Nomad Prepper 1, which was one of my old channels, One Liberty, One Freedom, which was one of my old channels, which to let you know that YouTube had decided to delete all those channels on me because of misinformation. Well, let me tell you this. They're all under scrutiny right now. Excuse me. All these social media platforms are all under scrutiny. We have one good thing going for us in a Republican Party right now in our government. They're trying to pass a bill so that we get our freedom of speech back here on these social media platforms because they are not of our constitutional rights. These social media platforms are going against our First Amendment rights, our freedom of speech. If they can do it, they can do it to anyone, anywhere, anytime. This is why I say, people, it's time to rise up. It's time to contact these politicians. It's time to be protesting throughout this country. I'm not saying burn things down. I'm saying peaceful protesting. Protest around the White House, around our Capitol. You people should be there in millions of people protesting around this country. Do you like working for nothing? Why I say this? My father, when I was a young child, was the only one that worked. He received enough money to purchase land, and build a home. Plus, for him and my mother to have a vehicle. We were raised and raised well. We always had food on the table. We never went hungry. Were times tough? Yes, they were. Back then, when I was old enough to drive, when I was 16 years old, I could have bought a brand spanking new Corvette Stingray for $3,000. What's the price of them now? Way over $170,000. Things have changed drastically over the years. This is why I say, has America fallen? I'll say, you people want to go ahead and live freely and do what you want to do and play your games and, you know, do your texting on your cell phone while all the time you're being tracked and censored on everything you do. Just like I am right now here on YouTube, being tracked and censored on everything I do and everything I say. It's happening to everyone right now. Do you like being censored? Do you like being tracked every place you go? Do you like the fact that no matter what you do or where you go, there's somebody tracking you, following you, knowing exactly what you're doing, where you're doing it? Now, if they come out with this cryptocurrency, you can use that cryptocurrency, go to a store, try to buy food for your family. Guess what? They can cut you off. Oh, no, no meat for you today. You got your 3 pounds of meat for the month. You're done. Vegetables? Oh, you want lettuce? Oh, with tomatoes and cucumbers? Oh, guess what? Oh, no. Sorry. Can't get that today either. You pushed your limit too far as how many vegetables you can get. Oh, you want to buy a new pair of sneakers for the kids for school? Uh, Sorry. Can't do that. One pair's got to last you 2 years. You're only entitled to one pair of shoes per year. Oh, sneakers. Oh, you wear them out too fast, but nope. You're not entitled to new sneakers either. You have to wait until next year, September. Oh, you want to watch a program on TV? You want cable TV? Oh, sorry. We're not going to give you your internet service or your cable TV service. You've allotted too much time. You're on there too much. So, no, we're not going to let you do that no more. They're going to stop you from doing everything and anything if we go to a digital currency. The only way not to go into a digital currency is to not accept it. These banks are pushing hard. I just went ahead and switched my direct deposits out of my one main bank. I switched it all to my credit union. You cannot trust these big banks anymore. You got PNC that's corrupt. You got Wells Fargo that's corrupt. JP Morgan Chase is corrupt. Bank of America is corrupt. These big banks, they're stealing your money right out of your accounts. This is why I pulled my money out of the one account. It's now going to a credit union. You people better do the same because a lot's going to change here. And they're going to continue to try and control you unless you wake up, take your head out of the sand, and start fighting and rebelling against what this government's trying to do to you. Because it's only going to get worse. If you buy gold and silver, well, that's going to give you a little bit of bartering. You can use gold and silver to barter. Gold is more for preserving your wealth, and the silver is for purchasing items. You also got tools and liquor and things of that nature. But also, don't forget your firearms, ammunition. And if you're going to be buying firearms or ammunition, I suggest taking the money out of the bank and purchasing it with cash at these gun shops. Why I say that? Because now you have all these different credit card companies that are not going to allow you to purchase firearms or ammunition with their credit cards. They're going to stop you. So if you purchase it with cash, okay, guess what? You'll have your firearms and your ammunition. You have to watch what's going on here, people. This is why I say, has America fallen? Well, I believe it is falling right as we speak. You're losing your freedoms, your freedom of speech, your ways of life, your liberties, your individualism. We're losing it all. This country's going to hell in a handbasket. And if you don't wake up and start rebelling, we will lose this country. Then one day it'll be a Red Dawn situation. Right now, we already have Russian submarines all around the East Coast, the Gulf of Mexico, and the West Coast, as well as China with their ships that are about 1,000 miles off of our West Coast right now. Are you ready to be attacked? Do you have your firearms and ammunition in order? Do you have 1,000 to 2,000 rounds per weapon? Do you have gas masks? Do you have face masks? Do you know how to protect yourself from a nuclear attack? Hell, do you know how to protect yourself from hand-to-hand combat? I'm not trying to scare anyone here, people. I'm trying to wake yous up. It's time. I am locked and loaded. Now, on that note, I think I've been on here too long with having the glitches with my internet and all. But I must say, people, I will be back on here again. I'm going to try next Wednesday at 6 p.m. once again. Hopefully, I don't have updates going on with my computer to prevents me from logging on. I'm getting dried out from speaking for over an hour. Excuse me for my hacking. People, it's time to prep up, time to pray up, time to get what you need now. Stock up on food. Like I stated, prices are going to go up another 10 to 30% by June. Mark my words, I haven't been wrong about anything I've told you as far as these prices going up. We're in a little bit of a lull with gas prices right now. I just spent $3.02 a gallon on my vehicle just the other day. But in towns outside of my area, people are paying $3.39 to $3.42 a gallon for regular gasoline. Thank God my area is $3.02 a gallon. But who's to say that isn't going to spike as well? Everything's going to continue to go higher. If you need items for your vehicles like air cleaners, brakes, rotors, radiator antifreeze, batteries, get these items together now, people. It's not time to keep putting things off and saying, I'll get it tomorrow, I'll get it next week, I'll get it here, I'll get it. Get it now. Because there may not be a tomorrow. There may not be next week where you're going to be able to purchase these products. Get what you need now, people. Get your food. Can your food. Get your batteries. Get all these things you need. Kerosene, lamp oil, all these things that you're going to need. We've had a pretty mild winter, but we continually get across this country snow bands and storms that come through. This isn't a normal seasonal event. We're going to be going through many weather changes as well. Everything is all screwed up around this country, around the whole world. We have 28 different volcanoes that are in eruption right now. And they had a minor earthquake at Yellowstone National Park. That may be another bubble that's ready to pop. People, this is why I suggest be and get prepared now. Start complaining to these politicians now. We cannot wait another year and a half, 2 years for another election. We don't even know if these elections are legit anymore. It may be the next time will be the overthrowing of this government. Remember, Rome's empire only lasted 250 years. We're almost at that limit here in the United States because the United States has become the same way. Our government is trying to become a dictatorship over we the people. Wake up, people. It's time. Get armed. Get ready. Keep your head on a swivel. Get the things you need now. I hope you all have a good night. Pray up, prep up. Get the things you need, like I say. There's no time to waste. Because what happened in East Palestine, Ohio, could happen anywhere here in the United States. And it's happening too frequent right now. On that note, we'll see you next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. God bless you. God bless America. We'll see you next Wednesday. This is Nomad Prepper 2, otherwise known as Tony D. Take care. Get prepared. And good night.